I want to talk to you about your client. Your client has, in the court record, has had personal issues that they have struggled with that are a part of this case. They've also had gender identity issues or that have come up at the sort of the climax of the sentencing case. And Bradley Manning came forward and offered an apology to the presiding military judge. Could you give the public a context for all of those issues and how you saw they fit into the case and your concerns as a defense attorney as to how you were going to handle those issues?
Sure. I mean, I think to minimize Brad and say he is one thing and only one thing is not to do justice to him and how complex he is as a person. I think from the defense's perspective, we had to look at the entire picture of why he did certain things. And it was clear, and you can see that from the Lamo chats, why he would leak certain information. Believing that this information was important for the public to know, believing that it might spark reforms, it might spark debate, it might make a difference in the world. Those are firmly held beliefs that we embraced, obviously, as part of his defense. But you wouldn't do justice to what he was going through without recognizing that he had those beliefs at the same time that he was struggling with a very, very personal issue that was really at the center and core of who he was and who he hoped to be. And he was in a position now of dealing with that in a deployed environment where he couldn't reach out for help, where he couldn't turn to the next person and say, hey, I'm struggling with this issue, can you help me? Because if he did that, he would no longer be in the military. So early on, we had to address that issue. And even though it was uncomfortable for him, and even though at the time he didn't want it to come to the forefront, I told him that we needed to embrace that part because that was part of the narrative. That was part of what was happening, and that was the truth. And we needed to bring it out. But at the same time, we also really wanted to make sure that people knew that we weren't offering that as an excuse. We weren't saying that because of the struggles he chose to leak this information, because of his personal issues, that led him to share information with WikiLeaks. The two are not related.